Sometimes I realized that I was moving through life without really knowing where I wanted to go. I thought I was following the right path, but deep down, my heart wasn't in it. I had taken goals from other people, from what society expected, or from what seemed logical, and my subconscious tried to warn me. At first, it started with small signals. I would forget things, oversleep, or arrive late. I would feel tired, distracted, or just unmotivated. If these small events kept happening, I knew it was a sign I was heading in the wrong direction. Then, the warnings became physical. I would trip, stub my toe, or even get small injuries. Sometimes I got into minor accidents or broke something important. My body was trying to stop me. You're going the wrong way. If I ignored these signs, my stress levels went up, my cortisol increased, my immune system weakened, and I started getting sick more often. These were signals that my mind and body knew I wasn't following a path that suited me. I learned an important truth. You can't just run away from something. You can only move towards something else. The brain is designed to collect and focus resources on the goal we are aiming for. If you don't know your destination, your mind gets confused, energy is wasted, and you feel restless and unhappy. To find your true goal, I started looking back at my childhood dreams. Childhood wishes are powerful. They are full of pure energy and genuine desire. I remember the things I wanted when I was young, before anyone told me what was realistic or acceptable. Sometimes I asked my parents about my early dreams, and it was amazing to see how pure those ideas were. For kids, imagining the future is natural, and these dreams can guide you even as an adult. Next, I allowed myself to dream without limits. I stopped thinking about whether it was realistic, whether I had enough money, or whether society would approve. True goals are born where you are free to imagine. I realized that I had grown up with invisible rules, family expectations, cultural norms, and other people's opinions. But to find my real goal, I needed to clear all those limitations. I also discovered that motivation isn't just about thinking positively. It's biological. Our brains release chemicals that make us feel excited and motivated. Endorphins give pleasure when we enjoy something simple, like eating a favorite snack, cuddling a pet, or giving ourselves a small reward. Oxytocin is connected to closeness in relationships, the warmth of hugs, and feeling connected to others. Serotonin helps with calm and stability, which comes from a good routine, spending time in nature, or being creative. And dopamine, this one is magical. It's a joy of achieving something, planning, and reaching goals step by step. By paying attention to these signals inside me, I started noticing which goals were really mine and which weren't. I learned to listen to myself, accept my abilities and limits, and feel free to choose a path that made me excited. This freedom was empowering because it allowed me to focus my energy on what really mattered. When I moved toward my real goal, everything changed. My body felt strong, my mind was sharp, and even small steps gave me energy. I realized that following my true motivation didn't just make me happier, it made me healthier. My body, my mind, and my spirit worked together in harmony when I was aligned with my true purpose. Once I began exploring my dreams and listening to my inner signals, I realized there was more to uncover. It wasn't just about noticing signs or remembering childhood wishes. It was about understanding the invisible rules and limits that shaped me without me even knowing. These rules came from my family, my culture, society, and even my own beliefs about what was possible or acceptable. I call these invisible rules limiting programs. They try to tell us what we can or cannot do. Some of these rules were genetic or biological. For example, not every person can become a professional athlete or a supermodel. Our bodies have natural limits. That's not bad. It just means I had to work with what I had and focus on the things I could truly excel at. Then there were cultural and family traditions that shaped how I acted or thought. In some families, The oldest sibling is expected to take responsibility for everything. In others, men and women are treated differently in small but important ways. These differences influence how we dream and what we think is possible. Society also sets its own rules. Politics, religion, social expectations, and stereotypes all shape what we believe we can achieve. Sometimes I'll catch myself thinking, I could never do that, or that's not for someone like me, without even realizing that these thoughts were not mine. They were taught to me. I realized that to follow my true goal, I needed to separate my own dreams from these inherited limits. I learned a simple but powerful practice. I allowed myself to imagine freely. I spent time dreaming without boundaries. I didn't ask if it was realistic, possible, or approved by anyone else. I just imagined what would truly make me happy, what I would do if nothing could stop me. The first few times it felt strange, like I was breaking invisible rules. But soon, I felt a sense of clarity and excitement that I hadn't felt before. At the same time, I noticed that my body reacted differently when I focused on my real goals. When I followed a dream that resonated with me, my brain released chemicals that made me feel motivated, confident, and alive. Endorphins gave me little bursts of happiness when I rewarded myself or enjoyed something simple. Oxytocin made connections with others feel warm and meaningful. Serotonin helped me feel steady and calm, even during challenges. And dopamine fueled my motivation, giving me the energy to plan, work toward, and achieve small victories. I realized something incredible. The more I aligned with my true goal, the more my body, mind, and emotions worked together. I didn't just feel motivated. I felt healthy, strong, and ready for challenges. My immune system was better. I slept better, and I experienced less stress. It was as if my whole being supported me, cheering me on as I moved forward. Then I discovered another truth. To keep this motivation, I had to act. It wasn't enough to just dream or think. I had to move my body, take small steps, plan, and try things, even if I failed at first. Every action I took toward my true goal made the next step easier. It created a positive loop. Movement built energy, energy built confidence, and confidence built motivation. The journey wasn't always smooth. Sometimes I stumbled, made mistakes, or felt discouraged, but I learned to treat these moments as signals, not punishments. They told me to pay attention, adjust my path, and keep moving toward what truly mattered. My mistakes became lessons, and each lesson brought me closer to understanding myself and my goals. By the time I reached this stage, I understood that finding my true goal wasn't just about dreaming. It was about acting and feeling every step of the journey. I realized that motivation isn't magic. It's a combination of my mind, body, and emotions working together. When I followed my real goal, everything aligned. My brain focused, my energy increased, and even my health improved. I didn't get sick as often. I felt more confident, and I woke up excited to take on the day. I also discovered that small victories matter more than I had ever realized. Every little step forward, every small success, released dopamine in my brain, which fueled my motivation even more. For example, when I completed a simple task that aligned with my dream, I felt proud. That pride didn't just stay in my mind. It spread to my body, making me feel alive and capable. And when I shared these moments with friends or family, oxytocin strengthened those bonds, making me feel supported and connected. I learned to celebrate these small wins and to allow myself to enjoy the journey, not just the destination. Endorphins came from little pleasures, a walk in the park, play with a pet, or even a favorite snack. Serotonin came from creating routines and stability in my life. And dopamine came from planning, striving, and achieving my goals step by step. These chemicals weren't just science terms. They were my friends, helping me stay motivated and happy. Sometimes, life threw obstacles in my way, and I stumbled or faced setbacks. But I learned to see these challenges as feedback, not punishment. They told me where to adjust, where to slow down, and where to pay more attention. Every mistake became a lesson that strengthened my path. The journey itself became a teacher, guiding me toward my true purpose. I also realized that listening to my inner signals was more important than trying to please everyone else. If a goal didn't feel exciting or meaningful, my mind and body gave me warning signs, distraction, fatigue, or even small accidents. Ignoring these signals only caused stress and frustration. But when I chose goals that truly resonated with me, I felt supported and energized in ways I had never experienced before. Now, I understand that finding and following your true goal is a lifelong practice. It requires patience, self-reflection, and courage, but the rewards are incredible: clarity, motivation, joy, and even better health. Life feels brighter and more meaningful when I am aligned with what truly matters to me. The most important lesson I learned is simple. Pay attention to yourself. Notice your feelings, your dreams, and your body signals. Allow yourself to dream without limits. Take small steps every day toward your real goal. Celebrate victories, learn from mistakes, and enjoy the journey. When you do this, your mind, body, and soul work together, supporting you every step of the way. And that is how you discover true motivation and live a life that feels genuinely yours.